I didn't eat anything for 3 days. No food, just water and coffee. No calories, no electrolytes, nothing at all, just straight up water and coffee. Honestly, it was much easier than I thought. Now, you might be asking yourself, why would somebody do this to themselves? Well, fasting has been around for thousands of years, from religious to health benefits, mind benefits. Really, I just wanted to challenge myself to see if I could actually do 72 hours with no food and find out what it would actually do to my body. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what happened to my body, what I learned, and whether or not I think this is a good idea for you to try. So let's jump into day one.
Gosh, all right, this is the first day, and somehow it snowed. I don't know. It was like 60 degrees yesterday, and now here we are, and things are frigidly cold outside. Unfortunately, I left my car outside last night instead of in the garage like an idiot. But here we go. I'm hoping that I can make this a series and go for like maybe 7 days or even 10 days one time. I had a buddy I worked with that actually did it for 40 days. I don't know if I would ever really go that far, but I do hope to make this something that I do again in the future, depending on how the results are, of course. There are a couple reasons why I decided to fast. One, I have seen a lot of health benefits that it gives you. I've fasted for like a day before, but never for like 3 days at a time. So I'm excited to try that out. Also, as a religious man, I know that fasting and prayer are important. I'm planning to do a lot of praying during this 3-day fast. Not that you would have to do that if you're watching this. That's just something for me personally, because there are a lot of health benefits as well, just to fasting in itself. I'm excited, but I feel like I'm going to be hungry very soon already. All right, so the first day is halfway over at least. My work day is done. It really hasn't been that bad. I'm used to actually not eating throughout the day. I do that quite a bit. So far, I'm really not feeling any hunger. So my body's already a little bit adjusted to this. And I fasted for a full 24 hours before, but going 3 days, I think I am going to see a little bit of a challenge. I mean, I feel really good. It's great not having to not having that fullness feeling. It just feels really incredible. And I think maybe holding on to that feeling alone is going to help me get through the next 2 days.
So at this point, at the end of day one, my body was still running on stored carbohydrates. We store carbohydrates in our liver and our muscles as glycogen, and we use those as energy until they run out. Now, once they run out, that's when things really start getting interesting.
Well, you guessed it. I left my car outside again, and yeah, it's pretty frigidly cold. Now it's all iced up. I don't really understand what I'm doing, because I could just pull the car at the garage and it wouldn't do this. As far as the fasting challenge goes, so far, day 2 waking up, I feel pretty fantastic. I think my body has already hit ketosis and is starting to use my fat to break down and use for energy. I don't even feel hungry right now. I feel really good. I've never actually fasted like this long at a time. So, yeah. I'm feeling pretty good still. I'm really not that hungry, which is quite surprising. Like, I definitely could eat, and maybe I've dreamt about food a little bit today. It's definitely a lot easier, like, after you get over that hump. I did notice around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, I started getting pretty hungry. Had to kind of fight that, just drank a bunch of water. I feel pretty good now. Normally, you hit that afternoon slump around 2, 3 o'clock, right about the same time I got hungry, really. But I noticed I wasn't tired at all. I didn't feel exhausted. I didn't feel like I could close my eyes and go to sleep. I just felt alert all day long, and it's been pretty incredible. So I'm really curious to see like how much I actually burned and how much fat I've actually lost. Like, once I start eating again, obviously my body will have to re-regulate and balance out. Obviously, I'm going to weigh less not eating for 3 days. Like, you're clearly going to weigh less when you step on a scale. How much will I have lost once I go back to eating? That's what I really want to find out. I still feel like my mind is a lot clearer. I've just been drinking a lot of water. I've drank like probably 10 of these today. 11.
So as I mentioned, around the midday mark, around 2 p.m., I did start getting a little bit hungry, but as it went further on in the day, my hunger completely vanished, and honestly, it stayed that way through the rest of the challenge. This is because my body was fully in ketosis at that time. Now, to break ketosis down a little bit further, essentially ketosis is when your body switches from using glucose from sugar and starts using ketos from fat and starts using that for your energy. And this is the reason why a lot of people will lose fat when they're dieting or when they're fasting, because their body has hit ketosis. Not only that, ketosis also helps with mental clarity, which is something that I definitely had during this 3-day fasting challenge. Well, folks, I've made it through most of the day, and we're about to go eat. I will have gone 72 hours. I gotta say, I'm really not that hungry right now. I am kind of excited to eat. I don't know exactly where we're gonna go, but I'm probably gonna get a lot of food because while I'm not hungry right now, I think I'm gonna be very hungry once I start smelling some food and my mouth starts salivating. So I'm excited about that. Overall, I'd say it's a pretty good process. Like the 3-day fast, when I weighed this morning, I was 185. And that's down from like 192 I'd been weighing. So 6 or 7 pounds I dropped during those 3 days. Like I mentioned before, I'm curious to see, like, once I start eating again, what my weight's gonna be. Like if I actually did burn fat off. I definitely can tell, like looking in the mirror, like it definitely, like it appears that I have lost some fat, but we'll see. I'll keep you all updated. Now, towards the end of day 3, that's when the real magic of fasting actually happens. It's called autophagy. And autophagy is essentially like your body taking out its own trash and getting rid of it. When you go without food for over 48 hours, your body naturally starts taking out old cells and damaged cells and replacing them with stronger new ones. You might consider it like replacing an old part on a computer or upgrading something in your vehicle. Replacing an old part and upgrading it at the same time. Autophagy is linked to several benefits, including longevity, reduced inflammation, and even disease prevention.